or overcome obstacles. I don't think Kenny Pickett is. And so, and again,
What's really the obstacle for Kenny Pickett? Yeah, Matt Canada sucks, but Kenny Pickett, we invested, I don't know, $30 million to the offensive line. When you get a generational talent like TJ Watt, you have to pay him money. When you get a generational talent like Antonio Brown, you got to pay him money. When you get a generational talent like Le'Veon Bell, you got to pay him money. When you get a generational talent like Ben Roethlisberger, you got to pay him money. And all those years we spent money high on offense, we did not win a Super Bowl. So you're talking about culture and how it's offense wins, offense wins, offense wins. You're even talking about the Packers and how you think offensively. Oh, I think about Reggie Wright when I think about the Packers, and I can think about I can think about so many players. Charles Woodson. I can think. I mean, that's just one right off the top of the head. Like I could keep going. Like great defensive players. Yeah, Brett Favre. Okay, McCarthy. The coaches. Yeah, we've had a defensive culture. It is what it is, and we've won with those defensive cultures. How many Super Bowls have the Packers got? Oh, we think of offense. Who cares? You think about the Patriots. I think about defense. When I think about the Steelers, I think about defense. When I think about the Cowboys, I think about I don't know. Maybe they had some okay offenses and defenses. But pretty much when I think about the Broncos, I think about defense. When I think about so many of these teams and these dynasties, maybe outside of the 49ers, I think about pretty much defense, bro. All right. So and at the end of the day, what obstacles is Kenny Pickett fucking facing? He has all the talent around him. He just don't have it. He just don't got it. He don't got it. Kenny Pickett is trash. He's terrible. He's below mediocre. You can blame it on the offense. You can blame it on offensive line. You can blame it on a culture. The culture and the defense is the reason we're 6-4 right now. Got a game against Cincinnati, a chance to go to 7-4. We had a chance to go to 7-3 and 3-0 to the division last week, and Kenny just couldn't come up and do anything at all. It's not a culture thing. Ben Roethlisberger, we changed the whole culture. The Bill Cowher smash mouth Pittsburgh culture to an offensive culture. Like literally, we have been an offensive team for the past, I don't know, decade, bro. And what have we done the past decade, bro? Nothing. So everyone wants to blame Mike Tomlin. Ben Roethlisberger held this team up for years with his diva ass shit and wanting to do whatever he wanted to do, spread it out, fucking throwing it all over the field, and we couldn't really get no defense, and our defense was trash for years. And then as soon as our defense started to come the fuck along, Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown decided to go fucking postal, bro. Like I'm about to go postal on this idiot right now. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Pittsburgh's got a defensive coach, a defensive culture. It's where they spend their money. And I just don't. I mean, listen, Jared Goff.
Like I said, it's not where they spend their money. We have to currently spend our money because Minka Fitzpatrick's fucking winning games and pick sixing like crazy, and in Baker Mayfield's career, TJ Watt having historical seasons. So of course, will come contract time, you got to pay these guys, and now we've been drafting heavy offensively, and the money we did have, we spent on the offensive line to help improve the running game. And we drafted first overall pick, Kenny Pickett, first overall pick, Najee Harris, first overall pick this year, Broderick Jones, offense. So the past 3 years, this team has used their first overall pick on offense. So it's not a culture thing. The Rooneys just know how to build a team. You have to play defense. You have to play offense. You have to run the ball to win at football. In this new idea, you were just like a Roger Goodell puppet trying to bring this new idea and this new brand of football that we're just going to spread it out and throw it all around and throw it 75 times a game and throw for 6,000 yards. Like that's not football, bro. And we play no defense. And if you touch the quarterback, you're just going to throw a flag, and it's insane. You can't even touch the quarterback nowadays, bro. Like this, football is a physical game. It's won and lost in the trenches. Like even teams that are more offensive have great offensive lines, and they still can play defense. They can still do something on defense. Like the Peyton Manning's defenses, like they were built to play with a lead. Peyton Manning would get a lead, and then you have Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney, Bob Sanders, and they were built to just basically have four people rush at you, two great pass rushers, and Robert Mathis, Dwight Freeney to get after the quarterback and play shutdown, deep, come pretty much dime. Because teams are mostly going to have to pass playing from behind against the Peyton Manning team. So they built their defense to basically prime to Peyton Manning. And you got to build around contracts in the league. It's just the way the league is. It's set up with a salary cap. And as it stands now, we had to pay TJ, we had to pay Minka. Just when we had to pay Ben, we had to pay fucking Antonio Brown, and we offered Le'Veon Bell to be the highest paid running back in the league, and he decided to sell the fuck out when we had pretty much a Super Bowl roster at that point. The offense is still coming along, but Kenny Pickett's straight trash. Obstacles, he's not good. He has no obstacles. The only obstacle was him playing just below mediocre as below mediocre gets. Matt Canada wasn't good, but bro, like him just missing receivers open in stride, just above and behind. It's been every game. I say it every game, every video. He's above, behind. Every game. It's the same shit with Kenny Pickett over and over and over again. And it's not just this is basically one almost a full over 2 years of just garbage from Kenny. So you're trying to blame it on the culture to overcome that culture. The culture is winning. Yeah, he's winning. That's the only reason he's surviving is he's happening to win. But really, the defense is winning these games. So let's see what this idiot still has to say.
Defensive coach, bust. Got offensive coach, Super Bowl. Tua, defensive coach, defensive culture, Flores. Looked like a bust. Got Mike McDaniel, flourishing.
Oh, okay. Now, see, this is he's just trying to push this shit. The defense doesn't win. Cleveland's one of the best teams in the league, defense. The Ravens are one of the best teams in the league, defense. The Lions are built on defense. Like, there's so many teams. The Seattle Seahawks, the Legion of Boom, defense. The Broncos, defense. That 49ers team, even with Kyle Shanahan, their defense is insane. The Philadelphia Eagles, even with Jalen Hurts and all the offensive talent they have, they still have an insane pass rush and an insane defensive line. So it's this culture, offense. Patrick Mahomes is like the exception to the rule, and they still have a great defense this year. So, I mean, do you look at the past 20 years, most of the teams are defensive-minded teams and defensive coaches. These people that you hype up, Matt LaFleur's never won a Super Bowl. Who's the dude? Kevin Stefanski you hyped up, never won a Super Bowl. All these Kyle Shanahan's never won a Super Bowl. All these great offensive coordinators and gurus has never won a Super Bowl, and all these defensive coaches have Super Bowls.
Brock Purdy would not be this good with a defensive culture. So I'm not.
Brock Purdy would not be this good. It's nothing about the culture. Brock Purdy is nothing but a game manager. All right. All he does is check it down and let Christian McCaffrey make the plays. Let Deebo Samuels make the plays. Let George Kittle make the plays with a great offense in front of him. In a defense that pretty much holds and protects the lead, and he doesn't have to force it down the field or ever play from behind because he can just check it down and do the easiest things imaginable. So it's just this narrative, all this offensive guru shit. Like, now it's coming from this goof. You're just a puppet for the NFL right now, really. At the end of the day, and Roger Goodell, bro, because that shit does not win. It's the NFL is a defensive minded game, and the Pittsburgh have won 6 games this year, and Kenny Pickett needs to step up. It's nothing about the culture, about we have a defensive coach. This motherfucker needs to step. We're not even asking him to go out there and be a world beater, bro. We're asking for mediocre quarterback play, and it just ain't cutting it no more. So when this Matt Canada shit, this better light a fucking fire under his ass, because if it don't, his ass, I said they need to bench him after Cincinnati. I made my last video that he needs to be benched if we don't win this game over whatever scrub Cincinnati's throwing out there. This is another team you hyped up, and it's all about offensive culture, Zach Taylor, and blah, blah, blah. Zach Taylor has a career losing record, and, we're ahead of Cincinnati, and we need to stay ahead of Cincinnati, and there's no excuses for us not to stay ahead of Cincinnati. NFL Network, every analyst picked Pittsburgh to win. They're throwing out a scrub. Like they put their money to offense, talking about money and culture. Well, Cincinnati is going with this offensive culture. Put all their eggs in one basket with Joe Burrow. He ain't playing, and there's no excuses for us to lose this game, period.
90% of the quarterbacks drafted are in the Jordan Love, Kenny Pickett space. It's where they land, the support they get, the coaching they get, the protection and weapons they get. Occasionally you get an Andrew Luck, a Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud maybe. He would have succeeded anywhere. I think Caleb Williams has some of that. Lamar Jackson, I think, would still be productive wherever he is. I think he's got a good.
Nah, Lamar Jackson. The only place Lamar Jackson can be productive is Baltimore, dude. I don't agree with that whatsoever. They built their whole roster around Lamar, and that's a team that has a running philosophy and a defensive philosophy, and is one of the best teams in the league. So you just want to keep you. This is like this dude's own narcissism, man. Like he just wants to push this offense shit all the time, and wants to bash the Steelers in the way they do things. We're 6-4. We need to go to 7-4. We should be fucking 7-3 right now, but we're 6-4. No excuses not to go to 7-4 though, and there's no excuses for Kenny Pickett to lose to this whoever the fuck Cincinnati scrubs they're throwing out there. And Joe Burrow's basically out for the year, so we got them pretty much bums, the Bungles, left 2 times on the schedule. They put all their eggs in one basket, and Joe Burrow in this offense, now he's out for the year. And they're just going or not, they're going to stay, even if they do beat us, they're still going to end up sliding and gliding down to the bottom and just losing game after game after game without Joe Burrow. So Kenny, if Kenny's average, this team is literally one of the best teams in the league right now. So it's not, you don't need great quarterback play. If we just had average quarterback play from Kenny Pickett right now, we're one of the best fucking teams in the league, bro.
Support system, but he's won a lot of games without great receivers until this year. There are these, Josh Allen, I think, would have succeeded at some level because he's so gifted. But I don't think Kenny is. And I just wonder, with this defensive mindset, coach, culture, and then they should be proud of it. They got a lot of trophies. I don't know if he can overcome it. I just don't. I don't think Jordan...
Overcome it, man. There's nothing to overcome. There's no obstacles. The defensive culture is not his obstacle. They got him George Pickens. They got him Deontay Johnson locked down. They got him Pat Freiermuth. They invested in a great offensive line in front of him. We have a first-round pick, Najee Harris, and a guy that's come out of nowhere, Jalen Warren, who's running the ball like a fucking brick shithouse. All right, and he's 5'8", 215, and he's playing like he's Najee Harris, 6'2", 250. All right, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's insane, bro. And there's no excuse for us to lose this game, and we should be one of the best teams if we just had average quarterback play, because this defense is insane. This defense has won us basically 6 games this year and had us looking like one of the best teams in one of the best divisions in all of football, with some of the worst quarterback play and some of the worst offensive play in league history, in so long, in Mike Tomlin's entire tenure, like you said, in this whole little fucking bullshit, another haterade fucking shit that you come with the Steelers, like you come all the time, motherfucker.
Loves hoisting a trophy either, but the coach and the culture and their young weapons and how the Packers. What have we always complained about with the Packers? It's always, they got a lot of good defensive first-round players. Why aren't they better? We never complain about the offense, right? Not much.
So, there you go. That's my video. Cowherd's an idiot. Kenny Pickett is terrible. And,
okay, the Russell Wilson.
It's time to make a change at quarterback if we don't win this game against Cincy. Period.